Welcome to Oracle Data Guard Tools demo session. Then coming to my profile, I have 10 years of real-time experience. Along with the Oracle DBA, I have experience in other technologies as well, like Oracle Cloud, Oracle AWS Cloud, Python scripting, Shell scripting, Docker, Kubernetes, and within the Oracle DBA, so I have been handling Oracle Golden Gate, Oracle RAC, performance tuning, data guard, ASM. These are the different or various technologies I'll handle. So coming to the course curriculum, so here, so as you are seeing in the slide, so we have, in total we have around 11 to 12 chapters are there. So in this slide we covered almost 5 chapters. We'll go through one by one. So in the first chapter, it is about introduction to Oracle Data Guard. So in this introduction part, so we are going to learn what is a Oracle Data Guard and how that is changing the picture and what are the different architectural concepts of Oracle Data Guard and different types of standby databases. And we also have a data guard brokering mechanism in the Oracle Data Guard. We also covered that as coming to the second chapter, that is creating physical standby using SQL commands and argument commands. So here, the second chapter, we are going to see step-by-step process to create physical standby database. So what are the steps, what are the sequence of steps we follow, and what are the prerequisites we have. So everything we will discuss in this. And then comes the next chapter, that is Oracle Data Guard Broker overview. Oracle Data Guard Broker. This is a concept using which we can build standby database. So we have different types of standby databases are available in Oracle Data Guard. So we can build physical standby database, we can build a logical standby database. And also we can perform various other operations like switchover and failover. And we can also monitor standby databases using Data Guard Broker as well. So the main purpose is having Data Guard Broker is the configuration and the usage is simplified with the help of Data Guard Broker. Without Data Guard Broker also, we can create and configure, use standby databases within the Oracle Data Guard. In order to work with the Oracle Data Guard Broker, Oracle has provided one of the command line utility called DGMGRL. So all the commands to configure and to work with the Data Guard Broker, the Oracle Data Guard. So we are going to use DGMGRL. So we are going to execute all the commands from the command line interface. So even though we can perform failover, we can perform switchover very easily with the help of Data Guard Broker. So when you compare with the manual stuff like performing failover, so with Data Guard Broker, performing switchover, failover, they are very simple. Just a single statement command. But when you perform same switchover and failover manually, so you should follow some sequence of steps. So here I mean to say Data Guard Broker is a simplified solution within the Oracle Data Guard. So using which we can configure, we can create, and we can monitor the standby database. So then in the next chapter we will see how we can create a Data Guard Broker. So that is creating Data Guard Broker configuration. In this we will see how we can define a data guard, how we can set up a data guard, what are the different parameters we require, how we can add a standby configuration to the standby configuration and primary configuration to the Data Guard Broker. So that we will discuss under creating a Data Guard Broker configuration. Next one, coming to the creating a logical standby database. That is the next chapter. Before I want to speak about this chapter, I should tell you about the Oracle Data Guard. We have different types of data guard databases are there. We can say standby databases. Within the Oracle Data Guard, we have different types of standby databases are there. Like first one is physical standby database, and the second one is logical standby database, snapshot standby database, active data guard or active standby database. Each and every different standby database is having their own advantages. Like if you take logical standby, so logical standby can be used for reporting purpose. You can avoid load on the primary database. So next, coming to the next slide, in the next step we have a few other chapters are there. Creating and managing snapshot standby database. So just now as I told you, so we have different types of standby databases. Snapshot standby database is also one of the types. Here we are covering snapshot standby database architecture, then converting physical standby database to a snapshot standby database, activating snapshot standby database, and we can see how we can activate a snapshot standby database, then viewing snapshot standby database information, converting snapshot standby database to a physical standby database. This is when you compare with the other standby databases. Snapshot standby database is one of the important type of the standby database that almost all the corporates in the real time are using. Then comes the next chapter, using Oracle Active Data Guard. So as I told you a couple of minutes back, we have different types of standby databases. So Active Data Guard is also one of the types of the standby database. Here in this chapter we are going to see using real-time query, enabling and disabling real-time query, enabling black change sorting, on physical Stanford database, creating fast incremental backup, monitoring blockchain tracking. So we will discuss what is blockchain tracking and how we can take the backups in the data guard environment. We have separate chapters for that. We will also discuss that. Okay. So then come to the next chapter. So the next chapter, that is configuring data guard production modes. So basically, data guard is having three types of production mode. So each and every production mode is having its own advantage. We will discuss once we start with the sessions, each and every production mode. So what is the each production mode and what is the advantage of that production mode? As we are seeing in the slide, so here in this chapter we are going to cover preparing to create a logical Stanford database, checking for unsupported objects, data types and tables, ensuring Unicro identified, creating logical Stanford using SQL comments and logical Stanford database. So that is all about the configuring data guard production mode. Then next chapter, perform role transition. Here, as I told you a couple of minutes back, so we can perform store and failover. That is called role transition. I mean, primary will become standby and standby will become primary. Anyhow, we are going to have some technical instruction part in today's. I'll cover those terminology as well. What is store? What is failover? Okay, what is primary database? What is standby database? So in this performing role transition, we'll be covering store and failover and the differences. Preparing store. I mean, if you want to perform store, then what you have to do before performing store. Then performing store using DGMGRL. That's it. As I told you already a couple of minutes back, you can also perform store using data guard broker as well. Then types of payloads, then re-enabling disabled database. So then last chapter, I guess, in this slide you can see using flashback database in data guard configuration. In data guard environment, you can also use flashback technologies. We can configure flashback database and we can also use flashback database instead of upgrade delay. Then we can also use flashback database and real-time apply and flashback to standby database role transition using flashback database of failover. So there are different variations we can use in the data guard environment. Coming to the next slide, so still we have three more chapters. So that covers backup and monitoring and fast start failover. Okay. So here enabling fast start failover. So in this we are going to cover installing the observer software. I'll give you deep explanation about fast start failover later once we start the session. But here let me tell you what this chapter is covering. So installing the observer software, configuring fast start failover, configuring automatic reinstatement of the primary database, creating fast start failover, disabling fast start failover, starting and stopping observer server, moving the observer server to new host. So these are the different topics we are covering in this fast start failover chapter. Coming to the next chapter, performing backup and recovery. So as I told you a couple of minutes back, so we can also perform backup in the data guard environment. So we will see or we will discuss what are the different types of backups we can perform, how we can perform, we can see with the demonstrations once we start with the sessions. Okay, if you go to the topics in this chapter, so first topic we can cover backup and recovery of a logical Stanford database, then using recovery catalog in the data guard configuration, creating the recovery catalog, registering database in the recovery catalog, configuring daily incremental backups, using backup to recover a data file on the primary database, recovering a data file on the standard database. The last chapter is monitoring. So monitoring is also one of the interesting and important area that we should focus on it. So once you configure the data guard, so it's your responsibility to monitor it. I mean, monitoring means once you set up all the configuration, whether the configuration is going smooth or any issues or any errors, or you can say any delay in the primary and standby databases, any gap in the primary and standby databases that we can monitor using monitoring with data guard configuration. We will see how to configure and we will see different areas of this monitoring data guard configuration. Today's agenda is going to give you introduction to data guard. So what is a data guard, why we are going to use it, and what are the different advantages. So we are going to discuss that. So as I told you, in today's agenda, we are going to cover data guard introduction, right? So basically, before I should tell you more about data guard, so I'll just give you simplified explanation of data guard. So here, in simple words, we can say data guard is used to protect the primary database data or primary data. Here, for example, let's say you have one database. That database is a production database. So, and you want to protect that production database or production database data. How we can protect them? So how we can protect? One of the ways to protect the production database data or production database is implementing data guard. So here That means using data guard, we can protect the production database or production database data. Okay, so that is the main purpose of having data guard, Oracle data guard. Okay, and it has different advantages. So it provides high availability. It provides data protection. So the main purpose is providing the data protection. You can also use data guard as a disaster recovery solutions for a enterprise. If you're using data guard, you can also minimize the downtime whenever you want to convert. Let's say, for example, you have production database in India and standby database in USA. You configured and set up the data guard, and something happens to production database, so immediately it converts to a standby into a production database. So let's assume in India you got an earthquake and your production database server got collapsed totally. Then you have a standby database is available at the US, and you can convert that as a production database. To perform this conversion or to convert a standby database as a production, you need some downtime. Okay, that downtime we can minimize with the help of data guard. Data guard is having a huge demand across the global because as it is having a different various advantages. Like for example, it has a different type of standby databases, and each standby database is having their own advantage. Like if I talk about logical standby database, so in order to avoid the load on a production database or primary database, so we can make use of the logical standby database for reporting purpose. So like that, as it is having more number of advantages, so this got huge demand across the globe. Data guard configure. So if you want to configure a data guard, so every time I may not use the word data guard. Data guard nothing but I told you to protect your production database data or to protect your production database. To achieve this protection, so we have different types of standby databases configured. We should configure and we should use them to achieve all the features and advantages of Oracle data guard. So in that we have different types of standby databases like digital standby database, logical standby database, snapshot standby database, active standby database. And here, so if you want to configure each and every different type of standby database within the Oracle data guard, so we have different steps available, or I can say we have sequence of steps to follow them, and you should configure it. As part of this configuration, there are even some prerequisites available. Prerequisites are available. So like before you want to set up standby database, what are the prerequisites? So we should perform those prerequisites, then you can start with the configuration of your standby database. And also as part of the configuration, we'll also the transport services. Basically, we have two different types of services: transport services and then upgrade services. Basically, transport services will be enabling to transfer the changes from the production database to standby database. So basically, all the changes from production database to standby database will be applied that way or that method to transfer all the changes from production to standby is called redo transfer service. And we have upgrade services as well. So here, upgrade services talks about so once the changes received by the standby database, so how those changes will be applying on the standby database. We will be also covering what are the different redo transfer services and what are the different upgrade services we have in the Oracle data guard environment. And now let's see how we can configure the data guard configuration. We have high-level steps that we can use to configure the data guard configuration. So here in this document, we are going to have steps to configure the physical standby database. As I told you, we have different types of standby databases. So in this document, we are going to see how to configure a physical standby database. So as I told you, to configure one of the physical standby database, we have prerequisites. So here these are the prerequisites. So first, the very first prerequisite is both primary and standby database servers will have same version of OS. Next one, both servers will have same database version. So these are the prerequisites given to the Oracle. So we are not defining these prerequisites ourselves. So these are all already defined with the Oracle. See, we are just following. You should follow this one. Otherwise, if you do not follow this prerequisite, so you may be end up with some errors while configuring the standby database. The third one is the primary should be in RTL mode. So why primary database should be in RTL mode? Because the changes, whatever the changes of your primary database or database will be transferred in the form of RTL file. Will be transferred in the form of RTL files to the standby database. So that is the reason. So if we enable the RTL mode to the primary database or production database, all the changes will be saved in the form of RTL files. And these RTL files can be transferred to the standard database. And then once these RTO files are transferred, then it will be applied to the standard database with the help of apply service. The next prerequisite is post log. So you should enable post log in the primary database. This is mandatory thing because let's say first of all let me tell you why we need post log. So here the primary purpose of enabling post log is to capture all the changes of a production database or primary database. Here what do you mean by capturing all the things of a primary database? Because sometimes what happens, application users will create a table with no logging option. Due to some reasons, they will create tables with no logging option. So in that case, what happens? So whatever the tables which are created with the no logging option, so those changes, so whatever the DML activities we perform on those tables, so those changes will not be captured in the redo log file. If those changes are not captured in the redo log file, so those changes will not be included in the RC log file. Will be missing some changes in the primary databases. So if you miss some changes in the primary database, so that changes also will be missing in the standard database. So but it should not be the case. Every change should be applied in the standard database. It should not log any single change. So that is the reason we should enable post log. Once you enable the post logging, even though application user creates a table using no logging option, that table changes or that whatever the transactions which are being under progress on the tables, so those transaction changes will be captured and will be saved as a log file. Those files will be transferred and applied to the standard database. That is the main advantage. That is the main mandatory prerequisite that you should perform while configuring the standard database. And this should be done in the primary database. So if you want to configure standard database, so these are the high level steps they are going to perform. So in this document covers how to configure and create this standard database step by step. But here I just highlighted what are the high level steps that we can cover that we can use to create the standard database. So the first point is we should take the backup of the primary data. Once you take the backup, to move this backup file to the standard server. So once the backups are moved to the standard server, so you should make necessary changes in both primary and standard database parameter files. So basically, we'll be having separate data guard parameters for both primary and standard databases. Configure those parameters for these primary and standard databases. So anyhow, we are going to discuss each and every parameter in our sessions. Next point, configuring Oracle Net Services on both servers. So basically, so as I told you, so RTL log files are transmitting from primary database to standard database. So then how these RTL log files will be shipping and applying. That means how transmission will be done, how the RTL log files are moving. So that is based on Oracle Net Services. So you should configure the Oracle Net Services. Configuring Oracle Net Services, but so it should be creating separate listeners for primary database and it should be creating separate listeners for the standard database. And also it should be creating the respective service names or tenants. So that is the meaning of configuring Oracle services. Then once that is done, so you should perform the restore. You should perform restore and you should recover the standard database. So but before restoring standard database, you should remember one thing. So you should take the control file as a standard control file as a backup. You take the control file as a standby backup control file, the primary database. Then because of that, your standard database can be identified as a physical standard database or standard database. With the help of that, by taking the control file or by creating the control file as a standby backup control file, so that can it can be identified. The standard database can be identified as a one of the physical standard database or one of the standard database. So once the restore and recovery is completed, we should start the apply service. So without starting apply services, we cannot the changes cannot be applied to the standard database. So that is the reason I told you there are two different types of services. Redo transfer services, the other one is redo apply services. So redo apply services are used to transfer or to transmit RTL files to the standard database. Apply services are using apply services, we can apply the RTL files or changes to the standard database. In this document, we have each and every step in detailed way with all the commands. So just let me here in this configuration, this is my in this simulation, this is my primary database information or server information or this is my standard database information. Okay, here my host name is primary.oracle.com and my database name is PRM and database name is CRM. And come to the Stanford database, here my host name is stanford.oracle.com and DB name is CRM and DB name is CRM. So don't worry about the DB names here. In both the cases, we have same DB name, right? So I'll tell you the reason later. Okay. So as we discussed, what is the first step? The first step is taking the backup of the database. So that backup will include all the data files, control files, upload files as well. Sometimes we'll be using existing backup. Let's say for example, for today is Wednesday. Every Sunday you'll be having L0 backup and remaining days we have L1 backup. Then if and you got a requirement to set up the primary, to set up the Stanford database from the backup, then what you can do instead of triggering ad hoc backup from the primary database, so you just take the L0 backup in the Sunday and on top of it use all the L1 backup. So that is also possible. So if you do not want to put more load on the primary database to take the backup on ad hoc basis. Let's go to the second step. As I told you, you can see all the commands taking the backup and storing in some location. See here, as I told you already, if you take the control file as a standby format, okay, backup control file to standby format, so that the database can be identified as a standby database. So let me just go to the scroll on the document that you can have high level command. So this is the simple backups we can use to take the backup, and you can execute the backup using the CP command. As I told you, there are few data guard parameters, right? So here these are the parameters. So I'll discuss later about all each and every parameter later. Okay. So here we can modify these parameters in the primary data. Here are the parameters that we can modify in the Stanford database. So as I told you, to enable post calling, you can enable post calling using this command. So I'm executing same commands. I'm just enabling all the data guard related parameters in the production database. I'm using order system command because in the primary database you do not get the downtime. You can use SQL and you can alter all the parameters, or you can change all the parameters. You should configure the Oracle Managed Services. As I told you, you can create signal and corresponding service and create respective directory to the Stanford database and then perform the restore and recovery. Here I perform the restore. So I just create my database in here. Then here I am performing restore Stanford control to enter location. So once the restore is completed, record the database. So it is restore is completed. So then we can also record the database using record database. So once record is completed, we can start the MRP. Using this command, we can start the MRP. Okay. So this is just a simple configuration that we can use, or simple steps to configure the Stanford database. So back to our slide. So if you want to write a certification, so this is the certification code 1000066, and I can tell you definitely if you have the certification, so you'll be getting more weightage in terms of technical stuff. So in the demonstration, so we are going to cover setting up a physical standard that we already have seen a few minutes back in the notepad, and also you can configure different types of standard database. So as of now, I have only told you physical standard database, and I'll just show you how we are going to build this standby or data guard config. Let me show you. So this is one of my VMware workstation. It provides virtualization. So on top of it, we can install the OS and we can install the database, the respective database versions. So like for example, if you assume this is one server and this is one server, so I have created two servers. So assume this is production database and this is standard database. Like this, we can make use of these two servers and we can configure as I have shown in the configuration steps. Just now I have shown in the notepad all the configuration steps, right? So using those steps, we can perform all the steps on the and we can configure physical standard database. So we need what are the system requirements? So we need 8 GB of RAM, minimum 8 GB of RAM, okay, and 3 GB of hard disk. Then we need Linux OS as a guest operating system and Windows as a host operating system. So here we are going to cover, or we are going to give you some videos. We'll be sharing documentation. We'll be giving you some reference articles or reference blogs. Some differences will cover you. Then we also share sample resumes, and we also give you a resume preparation guidance as well. So as part of demo, we also encourage the students to ask some questions or doubts. You can also ask what are the doubts you have about the timing, enrollment, and the technical doubts as well. So that is all about today's agenda, covering the regulator demo. So thank you for joining all.